He's gonna explain it best we can. Simon Git Lernid with the...
Hey, what's up? Big Earl, Northtown Sound. And today we're going to be learning about attenuation. That's an awfully big word for me. Holy crow, attenuation. This is the new Mosky vol attenuator. What is an attenuator? Well, basically it's a volume control. What it does is it lowers volume, but it doesn't affect your waveform. So it doesn't affect your dynamics, it doesn't affect your tone, etc. So like in the example of this pedal here, when it's cranked up all the way like that, your volume is at parity. If you roll it back, it's quieter. Wow, that's sure exciting, Big Earl. Wow, that's a useful thing, isn't it? Well, actually it is, you know. A lot of people will rely on a volume pedal or on, let's say, the volume control on their gitter, okay? Similar idea. These are potentiometers, which just basically allows you to amplify. This basically descends your volume. So where would you use this? So example number one, let's say you're playing through an overdrive. In this case, I'm running through the Eno TS style overdrive, which gives you that kind of sort of sound, hopefully a little more in tune when you're doing it. But this overdrive cleans up a little bit when you turn down, not a lot. Definitely doesn't have the roar of... So let's say you're playing some sort of big old rhythm part in the band and you run into that rare occasion that guitarists never do where you realize you're too loud, right? So let's say you're going... realize you're too loud, so you turn down your volume. You're not as fuzzy as you were. You're not as heavy as you were when you were full up, like this. And that's where attenuation comes in. So here's the guitar full up under the attenuator. So you can hear that the fuzziness is still there, your overdrive is still there, it's just you're quieter. That's where attenuation comes in real handy. Second example of where you may want to have an attenuator. I still have the overdrive hooked in. Exact same setting, just out of frame because I need a bigger light box for doing this. Let's say we're going to throw in some flange to that riff, right? Let's say that's too loud, okay? So what would you do? You'd roll back your volume. Well, listen what happens when I roll back the volume in this case, okay? So we'll start off with the volume full up. It actually doesn't get that much quieter, does it? Instead, what's happening is it's emphasizing the resonance of the flanger. Frankly, it sounds a little cooler that way to me. But that's just me anyways. So what we can do is, if we want to play that quieter, we hit it with the attenuator. So let's try this yet again. You get the idea anyways. So what's happening is, there we throw in the attenuator. We're not changing the sound of that flange the way we were with the volume control on the guitar. So just to run through that again really quick. Volume turned down on the guitar. Volume all the way up on the guitar, but with the attenuator. Here's another very handy application of an attenuator. So, again, not enough room to shoot this, so I still have the overdrive on. Still in the same setting, I still have the flanger on. But now I'm adding into that Eno 86 on a pretty strong spacey delay. So now we can do sort of stuff like this. So I've thrown the attenuator in front of the delay for a couple of reasons. First example, let's say we're utilizing this sound and we want to do a little bit of sort of wanking fills in behind here, but trying to get it atmospheric sounding as opposed to just pointless soloing. Which I'm really good at pointless soloing, even though I'm not that good at soloing. So, if we don't use the attenuator, that'd be something like this. So you can hear as I turn the volume down, I'm losing all the gain and the girth and everything, and the resonance of the flanger is coming through. So instead, I can use the attenuator. You also notice that there's a little bit of a change there when it comes to how the delay is reacting with the flange, because the volume's down. You're getting a little bit less of that sort of filtery sound on it, which is nice. Let's take the extreme example. So I'm going to crank this all the way up and this all the way down. My favorite trick for doing this, and one that I always recommend for folks when they grab the 86, this will be courtesy of Andy Summers, stacking up to create chords. Now that's something you could do by swelling with your volume control as well, but listen to the difference on it when I do that. It's a lot smoother doing it that way. This is a lot more staccato to do it this way. So, and obviously, if I was doing that with my foot a little smoother, you'd really get a nice pulse out of that. So yeah, attenuation. You know, these are those sort of utility pedals that are kind of boring, not glamorous. But they have their place. They're very useful, and there's something to keep in mind, especially if you really get into pedals, start assembling very long signal chains and stuff like that. They can be of incredibly good use. So there you go. So hopefully you learned something today about our friend. Focus in on that. Focus in on that. There you go. Attenuators. There you go. Big Earl, Northtown Sound. Later.